Hello and welcome back to Let Me Tell You a podcast with Jeremy Jacobowitz. I am your host, Jeremy Jacobowitz, and today we are talking about, do I get paid to eat at restaurants? It's a question I get all the time, and I think it's a fair question. I think it's something that people really don't understand necessarily, and don't really understand just on the higher level, even business level of what the answer is. So we'll get into that. But also, Nami Nori has a brand new kimbap restaurant opening. It looks great. Shifka is launching maybe the greatest set of restaurant collabs I've ever seen. So we're going to get into that. Lots of other restaurant news, what I'm into, and so much more. Before we get into that, thank you guys for watching, listening, subscribing, commenting, all those things. I missed a week. I was in Miami. I honestly didn't even realize it. When I'm in Miami, I'm in a different universe. I don't sleep. I don't eat. Even though I'm there for the Food and Wine Festival, basically I'm not eating. My body basically starts shutting down. So I did miss a week. Sorry about that. But we're back. We're hitting it. We're going strong. And I'm glad that you guys are here. And if you are here, continue to like, continue to subscribe, continue to share the podcast wherever you watch this. It's on the brand. If you are watching this, it means you are on the brand new Let Me Tell You Why YouTube channel. So that's really awesome. You could be watching this on Spotify too. And I think Apple just launched the ability to have video too, but I couldn't figure out how to do it yet. So video, either this one or coming soon if you like listening to this on Apple. And then you can see my beautiful face if you want to. And also merch, of course, merch. JeremyJShop.com, only for you guys. Save 12% with code MARCH12. 12% off everything in the store. It's going to be spring soon. You got a little taste of it this weekend. So get t-shirts. You can still get sweatshirts, crews, beanies, hats. There are shorts on there, the stickers, whatever you want. XL Sando is the most popular by far. But we have a brand new Let Me Tell You Why shirt on there. We got honey shirts if you want to help raise money for Muddy Paws, the rescue organization where we got our dog. All those fun things. JeremyJShop.com. I got too many goddamn URLs. But okay, let's get into some restaurant news. From the Nami Nori Team, one of my favorite sushi spots in New York City, and taking over their old Postcard Bakery location is TBD Kimbap. Do you think it's TBD because they don't to be determined? Do you think that's a name, or do you think in the email they just didn't have a name yet, so they sent that to me? Unclear, but a Kimbap restaurant is going to be opening March 11th. I hope they have a name. And they have a takeaway menu with a selection of kimbaps, beef bulgogi, spicy pork, tuna mayo, special ham, soy, garlic, tofu, and Karen Inferno. Plus, they'll have desserts and more specials. This is one of my favorite things. Ooh, I had such a good one in Korea, too. I'm so excited. If you had this in Williamsburg, if this thing works, bring it to Williamsburg. I honestly might eat there every single day. Love kimbap. Jack's Alfreda is launching here's the thing. This restaurant is an institution in New York City. Been there forever. Been there multiple times. Because it's spelled Freda, I'm always so confused because my brain goes, Jack's Alfreda should be Frida, but I've never seen Frida spelled that way. So then my brain always says it's Freda, but I've never heard the word Freda or name Freda before. Tell me, which one is it? Either way, they're launching a brand new dinner menu towards the end of March, which will feature heartier bistro style dishes. Think mixed grill for two, rigatoni bolognese, fish and chips, and a rotating menu of specials. I actually just went back there a few weeks ago. I had not been in forever. Got the green shashuka. How could you go there for lunch, brunch, breakfast, or even frankly dinner and not get the green shashuka? Although this sounds pretty fucking good. All right, here we go, guys. Shifka, one of the best pita shops in New York City, is launching more than that. It's launching more. I wrote 4, but it's not 4. It's launching a number of collaboration specials over the next month and a half with some of the absolute best restaurants in New York City. Lock in. Here we go. March 6th and 7th, it's going to be with Peking House and the Sichuan Lamb Pita. March 13th and 14th, Katz's Deli and a Pastrami Laffa. March 20th and 21st, Barney Greengrass and a smoked salmon and cream cheese barrica. March 27th to 28th, Peter Luger's and a Luger Burger Arias. April 3rd to 4th, 8282, and a Korean fried chicken pita. Oh my God. And April 10th to 11th, Greenpoint Fish and Lobster and a lobster pita roll. Literally, if you were what restaurants should we collaborate with? You knock them all out. You knock them all out. These sound so unbelievably good. Good job, Shifka. Sunday Morning went viral last year thanks to their insane cinnamon rolls, and now they have expanded from their original East Village location and into Nomad. Each day, they will serve soft, pillowy, and warm cinnamon rolls with flavors such as blueberry lemon curd, pistachio mascarpone, and caramel pecan. And on the weekends, they'll also have an ube mascarpone, drawing inspiration from the Filipino dessert, and a guava and cheese. Oh my God, these things look just oozing. Ugh. Lumo Umbro is the new daytime cafe and cocktail bar in Tribeca with pedigree from Michelin-starred chef Stephen Humboldt, which will focus on apps, salads, sandwiches, and soups during a day and a night. It'll be a cocktail bar with small bites. Cafe Landwer is the Mediterranean comfort food restaurant opening its first location in New York City, right in Williamsburg, but they have locations all over. Being open since 1919, actually. Think falafel, shakshuka, meze platters, hummus bowls, schnitzel, and more. I mean, this is my type of menu. It looks fantastic. And it's in Williamsburg, so I will probably be there soon. Okay, special for the spring at I'm Donut. The donut sensation from Japan will be serving a Sakura raspberry cream donut for cherry blossom season. Inside of their original donut is a light raspberry mousse, a raspberry jelly, and it gets dipped into a creamy Sakura infused white chocolate coating before getting dusted with fresh Sakura powder and crunchy dried raspberries on top. They will also have a Sakura latte on the menu as well. I actually have not had, even in Japan, I haven't been there. Even in New York, I haven't been there, but they do look fantastic. I'm just not a person who goes out of my way for donuts. But if you are, these are supposed to be the best. And finally, the original Confidant location closed last year, but they have just reopened, this time on the border of Cobble Hill and Brooklyn Heights. The menu is seasonal, rotating with a focus on dry-aged meats, fishes, and homemade pastas. Some of the standouts on the menu are prawn pot pie, the spaghetti al funghi, and spicy meze rigatone. Looks beautiful. Okay, so let's get into what you may have missed. One, Tokyo Pizza and Serenkan. So Serenkan, my favorite Tokyo pizza place. I was going to say in the whole world, but it is in Tokyo. My favorite Tokyo-style pizza place in Tokyo, Serenkan, came to New York City for a 5-day pop-up. Of course I went, and of course it was great. So if you want to watch that, there's a short form on Instagram to sort of like documenting my experience just eating there that night. If you want to learn more about Tokyo pizza and all my favorite pizza spots in Tokyo, there is a brand new video on YouTube, and there's a brand new video on Substack, morsels.food, if you want to check that out. I go through all of them. I went to Lord's. Lord's has been a favorite for a while now, the fancy British pub, and I finally got on there for dinner because I needed the burger. I needed the burger. And I did the whole dinner. It's incredible. Watch a video. It's everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, all this stuff. But what's interesting is this one of those places where the burger sells out really, really quick. Oh, what I learned is if you go for brunch, they have unlimited burgers. But if you go for dinner, there's a limited selection. So they open at 5:30. I made a reservation at 6, thinking like, oh, that should be fine. I sat down, and she was like, oh, what can I get you? And I was like, the burger, please. And she was like, ooh, no. And I was like, ah, shit. I was like, okay, I gotta rethink my entire strategy of like how to order them, because like the burger was gonna be to make a bone in it. And then she walked away and she walked back and she's like, oh, I found out we have one left. And I was like, oh, thank God. It is worth it. But also the best fries in the whole world. Check that video out. 15 must-eat pizza shops in Williamsburg. That is on morsels.food. That is a new fancy URL for Substack, but if you want to search Substack for me, you're fine too. But morsels.food, 15 must-eat pizza shops in Williamsburg. Williamsburg is the pizza capital of the world. We have every type of pizza. We have the best pizza. We got everything amazing. And there are 15 must-eat spots, and that is on my Substack. But okay, let's get into the main topic this week, which is, do I get paid to eat? And then / like, do I just eat free food? Like what is the deal? And I think like this has been one of the main questions I've gotten over the years, over and over again. Mostly in a accusatory way, frankly. Mostly not in like a inquisitive way. It's mostly been like, we know the restaurant paid you to make this video. And the short answer is no. The long answer is, well, I guess it's kind of complicated. So I think let's just kind of take like the macro answer and then we'll kind of work down. Do I get paid for restaurants? No. Do I sometimes get paid for restaurants? Yeah. And we'll start there and then continue with the conversation. But basically, it's like, do I go to these fucking restaurants, be like, hit them up, be like, yeah, you got to give me $5,000 to make this video? Absolutely fucking not. Do I get offered money from restaurants a lot of time? Absolutely. And I say no to all of them. My distinction is a few things. If you are, let's just start here. Restaurants don't have any money. This idea that I could like live the lifestyle that I want and make it as an influence in New York City, just charging restaurants, is fucking stupid because they don't have any money. The restaurants that generally would have money and would be willing to give you a couple $100 here and there for stuff, let me tell you something, they're not good restaurants. So I'm selling out my entire account to make a couple $100, which not only ruins my connection to you guys and trust that I have with you guys, but it also doesn't even make me fucking money. It doesn't even allow me to survive. So what is the point of any of that? So on a whole level, it's like, no, for the reasons of just like trust or whatever, and then two, like it's not enough money. If your ideas are going to get into this and charge restaurants, let me fucking tell you something. You're not going to make enough money to survive. Now, listen, I want to say this: other cities are different. Other in terms of like the money the restaurants have, and just like if you're in a smaller city and there's one food influencer, and they're not really gonna be able to make brand deals and stuff, and they want to feel like they're getting compensated for the time and effort. Yeah, I think maybe they do charge. I'm not so against that, but in New York City, you should not be charging. And this is for restaurants too. When an influencer hits you up and says, "Hey, I charge this amount." I don't want to like begrudge that influencer. Again, like everyone can do whatever they want, but if you're the restaurant, just so you know, honestly, just so you know, you could walk on the street, ask 10 random people, "Hey, do you want to come in for a free meal?" I bet you one of those fucking people has a social following big enough where they would do better. You know what I mean? It's just too competitive a city of too many influencers where you don't need them. You don't need them. I wouldn't, if you're a restaurant, I wouldn't waste your money. Now, have restaurants paid me before? Yeah, of course they have. And it's been a few things. One, it is if they are a giant restaurant or they're owned by some giant company, then yeah, at that point they have a budget. They could pay me. You have a million locations or whatever it is. And I'm still not making that video because they're paying me. I would have made that video anyway. But if I was going to make that video anyway, and I know this restaurant has money and I didn't ask for it, they offered it to me. I'd be stupid not to take the money, right? And it still doesn't mean that like, and I think there's this whole thing of like people think like just because you're paid, you get to post anything. Guys, I don't give a fuck. Do you know how many brands, gigantic brands that have paid me so much money? Do you know how many fights I get into with every single one of them? I fight tooth and nail with every brand deal I do to make sure that it is organic to me and I'm saying what I want to say. Now, listen, it's a negotiation always, but if there's something that I'm like, absolutely not, I'm just not going to fucking do it to only my own detriment. I won't do it. So let me tell you something. If I work with the restaurant because they're big enough and they're a big enough group and they pay me for something and I didn't like something, do not fucking worry. I will still fight tooth and nail to say or do whatever I want. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean I make a video being like, this place sucks. I'm not going to do that to them. But maybe there's a dish I didn't like. I'm just not going to include it. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. So you don't have to worry about that. But that's sort of like and then the other thing too is like restaurants will certainly pay me to produce content for them. So like on a very technical level, they've had me come in and like do photos for them, do videos for them, and like I'm there anyway, so I'm going to make a video. So I wasn't necessarily paid to post from there, but they were paying me in some capacity. So that's a little bit more of a gray area too. But again, like they're not making me make that fucking video. I could not post about it, just deliver what I wanted to deliver to them. But usually I like the food. I'm there anyway. I knock out a video if it's good, and then I want to post it, and then great. Done. Got a nice video that day too, and I made a payday. Perfect. Now the other side of it, which I think makes people, in the past, nobody cared about this, but recently people seem to care about this much more, was your food comped? And have I take comp food? Oh, 1,000,000%. I mean, especially at the beginning where like it was really difficult for me to even afford anything. Like I had to take the comp food. I needed it. I couldn't do this without it. Nowadays, for the most part, I don't take comp food. And that's not really like a moral thing, I guess. It is more of an annoyance thing, to be honest with you. I don't do the comp food because I find that if I am coming in with them, they're going to be like, well, you could order one app and you could come at this time. And when's the video dropping? And like, I don't really want to answer to anybody. I would like to go into the restaurant, order what I want to order, make the video I want to make and whatever. And while I always appreciate a comp food, like that's a very nice offer. And it's very whatever. For the most part, like, dude, like, I don't know, man, I could afford your pizza. Like, I'm just going to go buy the burger myself and just do whatever I want and not be bothered. I mean, sometimes, honestly, it's like I'm months behind videos sometimes. I'm years behind videos sometimes. And I don't ever want to be rushed to post something because I feel obligated to. That's a lot of it too. I will say to like, it's not that I don't still take comps. Like, and a lot of the times it's like, it's not me even trying. Like, let me tell you how restaurants work. A good restaurant, better restaurants. They they look through who made a reservation that night and they know who everybody is. A good restaurant knows who everybody is. So when I make a reservation thinking I'm going to pay, because that's always my intent, and I go in there and they recognize who I am and I order whatever I want, and maybe they sent out one dish and then the bill comes, it's free. What am I going to do? Fight with them, take my fucking credit card? I mean, I always be like, oh, no, it's okay. And, and they're like, no, absolutely not. I'm gonna, like, that is just what happens. And it kind of goes into the thing of like why a deeper conversation about food reviews, which I know we've talked about before. This is why I can't review food, and which is why I don't review food. I do not get the same experience as everyone else. I'm literally sitting there with a camera in my face and a light on me. I promise you, even if they have no idea who I am, because not everyone knows who I am, they know that I'm making a video and I'm going to get different service or whatever. So that's why I cannot review places. I just highlight what I like, and you just have to understand that. But even with the comp stuff, again, like I think people think it's like these backroom sketchy deals. Like, yeah, we're going to give you a cheeseburger and then you better give us a good review. And that's the deal. Like, that's not the deal. I would say 99%, or at least the people that I work with that I do accept comps from, because if I do accept a comp, it's literally only because it's someone I really trust, I've worked with for a while. I know the food's gonna be great anyway. I know I'm gonna make that video. And again, even then, I probably say no and it's doing my own. But when I do take it, like, it's not these like weird things like, yeah, you can make that video for me because we're gonna give you this cheeseburger. It's like, yo, it's not that way at all. It's literally like, hey, we just really appreciate you coming in here. We want to take care of it. Obviously, do whatever you want. You know what I mean? And like, if it wasn't good, I mean, if I have any inclination that it wouldn't be good, I would just ignore the text or email, I guess. But even if I went in there, it's not this like, I'm not breaking a contract, I'm not doing this. I would just have to have like a really awkward conversation with that PR person and be like, hey, listen, I don't really like it. You guys don't want me making this video. Because again, they're not, even with a comp, like they're not seeing my video. They're not checking my video. They don't get to tell me what to say. It's not key messaging. It's none of that shit. And it's actually a big difference of what I talk about all the time in terms of like free and gifted versus paid. Like the biggest separation of that is like if you're just going to give me something for free, you do not control the messaging for the most part. And listen, if it's a bigger, I'm trying to think of something. If Canon sent me a free camera and they wanted me to make a post about it, yeah, that camera's thousands of dollars and they're a giant company. They probably sent me a contract being like, you have to do these things for it. Would I still take that? I don't know. But for the most part, the separation in the influencer world is like, is this just something they're getting for free? And is this paid? Is that the ability to review what I'm going to say or do and like giving me key messaging? When you don't do any of the, like, that is why you pay an influencer. And that's the separation. You, as a company, you then basically get to control that messaging. And so like, it's not this like deep, dark thing. It's not the same. We're not trying to get anything over you guys. I mean, some people are, I'm sure. I'm speaking in giant macro terms, but truly I'm only speaking for myself. But I've also been doing this a very long time and have a pretty good understanding of the influencer world. And it's not to say that other people do the exact opposite of it. It's not to say, listen, I see. What's funny is I see the emails that people are like, hey, we'll give you $200 to do this meal. And I look at it, I'm like, no. For any amount of money, I'm not going to that restaurant. And then I'll see influencers posting from there, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You guys, and again, I don't want to begrudge these people. Like, do whatever you want. I'm more speaking to the restaurants. Like, it's not worth your fucking time. But anyway, God, this podcast, I talk in fucking circles sometimes. But at the end of the day, restaurants don't have any money. It's not worth it. I don't want to be fucking annoyed. So I don't want to get paid. I don't even want to comp half the time. The thing too is like, it ends up being a sickening amount of food. Like, listen, in our jobs, we all waste resources at our jobs. It is just something, whether it's fucking paper or plastic or like whatever it is. Remember what your job is. Your job probably is wasteful in something. The wasteful part of my job is food. There is food that is just wasted. I have to go to these restaurants. I have to make a fully thought out video, and I probably have to order more than the normal person, which means at the end of the day, it's probably food wasted. And that's when I pay for it. When it's comped, chefs are really excited that I'm there. And they generally want me to taste a lot. And they'll send out all these dishes. And it's a sickening amount of food for me, even if I'm with a bunch of friends. And sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. It's still too much food. I feel ill. It ends up being completely wasted. And I try and reduce my waste as much as I can. And that's honestly another big reason why I don't want comped meals. It's just like, I just don't want to waste food. I just want to order when I want to order and tell that story. Honestly, like when I get too many dishes, it's a harder video to make, and then that video sits to the side. Like I'm always so excited about omakase, and I get to edit. I'm like, oh fuck, there are 15 dishes I gotta talk about and squeeze into this minute. That's a minute and a half. I'm never gonna get this down. So that's a big part of it too. Is just wasteful. So let's top line. Do I get paid? No, but am I comps? Basically, no, but And do I begrudge anyone else doing it? No. Should restaurants in New York City offer influencers get paid? No, unless you're a giant restaurant. If you're sitting there being like, oh, I knew it, but you have fucking 15 locations and a marketing budget and a marketing team, you have all this money. No, you absolutely should pay influencers. And I get it from an influencer perspective. Like you want to get paid for your time and effort and money. At the end of the day, like, again, it's that weird thing of like, is this a review or not? I just think it's impossible for an influencer to make a true review, no matter who you are. You're sitting there filming yourself. So at the end of the day, you're making a commercial. You're highlighting it depends on what type of content you want to make. For the most part, people prefer going there and highlighting a positive experience. And at the end of the day, that is a commercial for a restaurant. So, it is what it is. Rant over. Hope that made sense. Let's get into what I'm into. One, I've been binging. This is, again, like a lot of things I discover on the internet are not necessarily new things. They're just new to me because I'm 38 and sometimes it takes a little bit to get to me. But I discovered Caleb Hammer and the Financial Audit, and I've been watching episode after episode after episode. And basically every episode he has a guest that is in some dire financial situation and he just reams them. He tries to help them, but he sits down with them, he goes through everything. They're like hour and a half long conversations, and he just like gets to the bottom of like, yo, what the fuck have you done? What the fuck are you doing? And what the fuck can we do to help you? And the casting is perfect because these guests are fucking crazy, and Caleb just goes in on them. It is hilarious. It's such a funny show. Sometimes it's depressing, but also like a lot of great takeaways. Like I've been binging it, and I'm literally sitting here like, oh my God, I'm spending too much money. Caleb would yell at me. What am I doing? Like I went through my apps like subscription thing. I'm like, oh, I cancel that. I could definitely cancel that. I could definitely cancel that. Or I don't need that. Like it has scared me straight with my spending, which I appreciate. And he has like a million videos on YouTube. Very big on YouTube. Check him out there. Ooh, and then I've been watching Love Story, the JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette show on FX. Like a year and a half ago, TikTok started showing me JFK Jr. videos, like specifically episodes of his PBS show that he used to do. And I was like, oh man, coolest dude ever. And I had like a little fixation of like, dude, he's just the coolest fucking dude ever. And now there was a show literally showing me just how fucking cool him and Carolyn Bessette were. And I guess still are, because they're having this like gigantic cultural revolution of how amazing they were. And it's Ryan Murphy on FX. All this stuff is like a little cartoony. Sarah Pagin's great in it though. Everyone, it's all a little bit amplified. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. It's not a documentary. You know what I mean? They're pulling from a lot of sources, and who knows? And most of their conversations that we never heard. So who exactly knows what's happening? But I do think it's just like, it's enthralling. The chemistry the two of them have is great. And these are just, again, like two of the coolest people ever, and people that we were just beyond fascinated with in the 90s and still fascinated with today. And we'll say this trend that like people want to dress like Carolyn and JFK Jr. now, right? All in, especially Carolyn. Carolyn just like simple and beautiful. And listen, I don't want to judge how people dress. I frankly don't care. But if more people want to dress like Carolyn Bessette, instead of like looking like you just pulled weird things out of your dad's attic, I'm kind of into it. Men too. I don't know if we got to go full JFK Jr. all the time, but he had style, and he was driving a Saab on one of the episodes. I thought that was cool too. So 5 episodes in, I think there's 9 episodes total. It's just like, it's great TV. It's just great fucking TV when we don't have great TV in a sense of like, it's a TV show, which I don't think we get a lot of. I think we get a lot of things that feel like movies that have become TV shows now, or we get like very minuscule many things that like, oh, this isn't even TV. This straddles that perfect line of like, this is a goddamn TV show and I'm into it. So watch those two, Love Story on FX and Caleb Hammer on YouTube. And that's it for this week. I appreciate you guys watching, listening. I love it. This is really, really fun. If you guys have any comments, questions, whatever, leave them wherever you watch or listen to it. I think you basically do this across the board. Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.